Elisa and Remy's developing romance encounters yet another challenge in chapter 1640, this time in the form of Mrs. Stone's dating philosophy. Elisa shows Remy affection because she enjoys the feeling of being chased and treasured. She confides in Remy, acknowledging her mother's efforts to arrange a marriage but assuring him that she will ultimately decide on her romantic life. She continues to be unwavering in her search of happiness, despite the increasing pressure from her family. She understands that her mother's attempts to set up her romantic life could not definitely result in a compatible match, particularly if she doesn't participate. Her unwavering will to make her own love decisions bolsters her independence. Despite feeling the pressure of Mr. Reading's competition, Remy is still devoted to capturing Elisa's affection. He cherishes her assurance that she respects their bond and is not easily persuaded by outside forces. Remy's certainty in their connection is evident as he makes a commitment to continue pursuing her. Remy warmly welcomes Mrs. Stone as she enters the room, making an effort to remain cordial despite her misgivings about him. He is no longer seen by Mrs. Stone as merely courteous, but rather as a strategic guy who can successfully manage FC and Company's branch. She realizes that the corporate world frequently demands a level of ruthlessness from individuals who appear soft, which is why she is skeptical of Remy's character. During their interactions, Mrs. Stone and Remy's tension is clearly audible. Mrs. Stone is determined to set up a meeting between Elisa and Mr. Reading because she thinks they would make a good match. She emphasizes that the Reading family rarely eats at the Stone family's hotel due to their business rivalry and asks Elisa to wait for Mr. Reading at the hotel's entrance. Elisa leaves after following her mother's instructions, leaving Remy alone with Mrs. Stone. Mrs. Stone takes advantage of the chance to state her position emphatically, informing Remy that the Stone family's objectives are unwavering and that her endorsement is essential in determining Elisa's romantic prospects. Elisa's perceived flaws, such as her independence and short temper, are pointed out, and she questions why Remy should love only her daughter. Remy, who hasn't lost his cool, responds politely, acknowledging Mrs. Stone's worries while justifying his love for Elisa. He admits that Elisa may have a strong willed disposition as a result of her upbringing, but he insists that he cherishes her special talents. Remy shares his conviction that despite her mother's worries, time will finally show whether he is a good match for Elisa. In this chapter, we learn more about the Stone family's conflicting goals and viewpoints. Mrs. Stone is determined to find Elisa a compatible match, but Elisa is unwavering in her quest for happiness with Remy. Remy's unwavering dedication to their partnership and his diplomatic solutions to Mrs. Stone's worries reveal the complexity and resolve of his character. A fascinating power struggle between maternal authority and personal autonomy in matters of the heart is poised to occur. Elisa's choice will ultimately determine her romantic destiny, and the chapter makes us curious to see how her decisions will play out in the face of competing love, interests, and family expectations.